As the industry evolved, as our own understanding of, the plant really evolved, we started to see and learn more about CBD and the topical benefits of CBD in intimate situations. 9 out of 10 people with vaginas have experienced pain with penetration. And so CBD as an anti-inflammatory, it can really help relax those soft tissue muscles in your vagina. So if you have endometriosis or PCOS or have PTSD from sexual trauma, topical or vaginally applied CBD can be incredibly helpful for relaxing the pelvic floor. And also maybe my favorite application of CBD is with our product called Happy Clam Everyday Oil. And it's our first product. It's a CBD product that was really designed not necessarily for sex, but for post-sex. So a lot of people experience what is colloquially known as Puffy taco. It's probably my favorite euphemism because even if you've never heard it, you know exactly what it means. And no one really talks about it. Post-coital vaginal inflammation is a real thing. And it can, especially if, maybe you have one of these underlying conditions or are perimenopausal or menopausal and are experiencing increased vaginal dryness. Well, that, increased dryness means more friction, which means more inflammation post-sex. So I love that product a lot because it's, we think of it as like an eye cream for your vagina. Not so much in the cosmetic sense, but in that it's like a really soothing product that is just for you and your vagina. And that's kind of cool.
What is it about these products that people with vaginas should be careful about when they're shopping and navigating all the options?
Yeah. So, as I said earlier, I was in this 8-year UTI yeast infection cycle. And I think a lot of that starts earlier on in the cycle, before you get a UTI. I think it starts with, the type of lubricants that you're using. The majority of widely accessible lubricants are glycerin based. Glycerin is a product we use in soaps, we use in lotions, we use in so many different products, but it's also a metabolic byproduct of sugar. So if you have bacterial vaginosis or a low-lying yeast infection, you're essentially feeding all of that bacteria, feeding it a bunch of sugar, which will just make it grow and multiply. So I think that was one of the first things that I noticed that, when I was doing my own research. And, Quim's products, they're ethically made, we use organic, ingredients, and they're not cheap because, we put a lot of, it's a business, but also we work with the best sourcing and best vendor options. We use Myron glass, which is UV protected, so your products will last longer. But, I always say that, if you don't need Quim's products, then don't buy them. If you get one thing from this conversation, it should be to switch to an aloe vera based lube. Aloe vera is naturally pH balancing, it's anti-candidal, and it doesn't dry tacky like those other lubes. Another thing is, condom companies and tampon companies are actually not required to list all of the ingredients in their products. So I think you often, a lot of people have sensitivity to latex, but also the majority of latex condoms come lubricated. And if that's a glycerin-based lubrication, well, maybe you're actually having, maybe it's the glycerin-based lube that's irritating your skin and not the latex. And so I think, just really reading the ingredients on the products that you're using. And, in general, I think it's good if you can mostly understand what the ingredients are.